Hello and welcome to my great YouTube channel videos series. It's a series and I'm going to keep mentioning that at the beginning of every video because I don't know what else to start it with. But anyways, in this video, prior to this video, technically, I bought soil. But in this video, I'll be taking the soil out of the car and putting it in the garden. And then also, I guess go over an update of these plants. Like, look at this pepper. I think if it weren't for me making this series and all that, then I might not have even ever planted these pepper plants. Also, this one over here, this bell pepper is not okay. It wasn't cut open, but when I cut it open just after taking it off the plant, oh my gosh, I almost fell over. I'm so clumsy. Well, when I saw it on the plant, the skin was like this, which is really bad, and it just was a sign that it was rotten before it was even ripe all the way. And oh my, I just didn't focus on that, but parrots just flew by. Actual parrots with orange tails and green feathers. Those things are so loud and annoying sometimes, but they are beautiful. Anyways, as I was saying, they just distracted me. The seeds inside are black, and there was some like black goo that poured out. So I just kept it out here until I took a picture of it, which I just did while recording this, so I can ask people online why that happened. So I'm gonna do the update on my peppers before this thing about soil. Here's the black Hungarian peppers. There's so many of them that there's kind of just too many. I ate some of them and they were not spicy at all, and I could just take a bite out of it. And well, they were not spicy at all, but they were barely spicy at all. This one is the first one to turn red. It's also the first one that started growing. I feel like the rest of them are starting to become less black. Like they start out green, and then they turn black, and then I feel like they're turning green again. I think they stay black when they're exposed to sun. And they're not exposed to any sun, so they're not staying black. But anyways, this pepper clearly needs water. I think the rest of them might need some water, except for these bigger ones with, I guess, store water or something. We bought 2 stakes, this one, and tied these 2 bell pepper plants to them. Then we found some old rotting stakes and put them in these 2 pots, but they are not tied yet because those plants are not mine and they are my mom's, and she says that she will tie them. This plant is also my mom's, but look, it's got limes on it. I don't think it can support all these limes at one spot. Eventually, when they get big enough, they'll be too heavy and start falling off. Like, look at this one. It couldn't support that many limes at that size. But it's trying right here. Although I wish, like all the other fruits, I wish limes changed color when they were ripe, but they just stay green the whole time. And I guess you just have to know how big they're supposed to get. Like, when these start getting ripe, they turn like dark green, and then the tips turns red, and then the red color travels up this pepper all the way to the top. And here's the Melrose. One of the Melrose peppers, it really needs water. All these leaves are really wilting. The other one's leaves are kind of wilting as well. I don't know how to get this to focus on them well, but these pepper plants are gonna be the first to go in the garden bed. They're gonna go before they produce any fruit. We're gonna keep making flowers, and the flowers keep falling off. And I think that they might just need more space to grow, more nutrients to grow in. So I am going to take this phone over back here, and if I see the license plate of this car, I'm going to find a way to blur it out. So here's the soil. There's 5 bags of 0.75 cubic feet of soil. So next I need to go get the cart from the backyard and put those bags in the cart and then bring it back here. I was thinking maybe I should record myself doing this. Then I realized I need both hands to take these soil bags out. So if I try it with one hand, it's really not comfortable. Wait. Well, it's got some charts and instructions on the back. But I wish I got some more of those liquid feed things. But it's like $20 for 4 of them, which I think is too much. Alright, well, there they all are. This cart is now heavy. Alright, here's the soil, here's the garden bed, here's the spot it's gonna go in. There's weeds out there, weeds over here, broken wood and all that. I was thinking I could go ask some, well, not other people. We have some bricks that have been so like neglected, they're probably buried under a few inches of dirt and weeds. But there's only a few of them, and I was thinking I could take those and I could see how much this wood is coming out of here. I was thinking that I could just pull all this out that's like making the gap, not pull the whole board out because then it would collapse. But I was thinking that I could pull like this out and slide some bricks in and then maybe eventually paint over it so it looks a bit better. But I was also thinking maybe I could ask my school to borrow some of their unused bricks because they have a bunch of piles of very old and unused bricks that I'm sure they're never going to ever use, and they could just give them to me for free. They should do that. They should give them away for free to me. Then I could build raised beds out of bricks in like a corner or something. Actually, I don't have any good corners to build a raised bed out of bricks because every corner is a fence or a door. So never mind. Maybe I could just make a circle out of it. That'd be nice. Maybe I could put more bricks around that sprinkler. So, well, I couldn't put too many bricks around that sprinkler because I'll have to have access to the valve. But whatever. I have to find a way to open these and dump them in here. I just need like scissors. Actually, I know what I need. You can even have it all the way down here. Let's actually cut it a little bit. Well, I think I should put the bag in here first so I don't make a huge mess. Then I'll take this. Alright, well, I lost the little tool I was using. I'm sure, I am sure, I'm absolutely sure that I did not bury it. I don't know where it went, but I know I did not bury it. I searched for it under the soil. I did not find it. I was looking for it for like 5 minutes. And now that I'm talking about not knowing where it is, I just found it. Because, of course. Anyways, I got the rake to help me spread this out. Although I wish we had that kind of rake that's like designed for doing this. Probably should have bought that one. But I think this is better at getting leaves, and that's what we use it for every other time we use it. So anyways, the soil did not come with perlite. I got the bag of perlite out of our shed, and I poured the whole thing on it and then I mixed it in. But I think it's a pretty even amount. But poured it, I don't know how I could have mixed it in more evenly. Then it would look like there's less because there'd be more on the bottom. I don't think there's any on the bottom because I mixed it in with the last 2 bags. Anyways, here it is. It's done. It looks great. I cleared some weeds out of over here so I could get it to fill in this area because it was too much to just do that little half. This area is now the boring side. It used to look better because all the weeds were gone, and now it's not the case. Also, I wish green onions or red onions made more beautiful alliums. Like, there are some decorative onions you can buy that make alliums that are actually purple and pink and stuff. I think garlic actually makes purple flowers, but every time I tried to grow garlic, it went badly. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I've seen people say that when you learn to grow garlic, what your exact climate needs can be very specific for garlic when compared to how specific you have to be for other plants depending on your climate. So, yeah. You can see all those little black specks or seeds in the flowers. Each flower is like 3 to 6 seeds. Sometimes 1, sometimes 6. I've gotten at least 100 seeds from this plant already. I don't need any more. There's weeds here, and I need to clear that out. But it's hard to do because of how many onions are there. There's bean plant, onions, soil. That's it really. I need to clean up my mess of all these bags and put this blade back inside. And I also spilled a bunch of perlite on the phone because the bag was leaking and I didn't realize it. But I wiped it all off, but there's still a bunch of dust. Although blowing it off actually kind of worked better than wiping it off. I don't know how that works. But anyways, that's about it in this video. The next video will be my last video before summer break. And it will be me actually transplanting that pepper. But I think that's going to be like the end to season 1. And then during summer, it'll be season 2. And it'll be worse because I won't have Premiere Pro to edit anything with. But it'll also have less videos because there's less incentive. The only incentive is to actually provide major updates rather than weekly updates. But I think there's like good free alternatives to Premiere Pro. I just have to learn how to use them. I like how my garden looks with this new soil. This is the highest it's ever come to the top of the thing, to the surface of the bed. But over here it's still pretty low, I think. Those onions are not growing upwards at all. Some of them are dying. I think they need more water. I have no idea. I just put an actual grocery store onion in the ground and then it started growing into that. And I put no care in it at all. So I don't really care if it dies. Because I could just go back to Home Depot and buy seeds for onions and grow it like that. Watch an actual video on how to do it, something like that. My habaneros are, I read online that any Capsicum chinense is supposed to grow slow as a seedling. They're actually not growing slow. They're just growing their roots really fast instead of growing their leaves. And when they're done with doing that, then they'll grow their leaves really fast. But they're not at that point yet. Anyways, as already said, that's the end of this video and almost the end of this season. So, bye-bye. Subscribe.